name's Daniel. I'm 20 years old. I've been out about 3 years now, since November 19th, 2009. I'll come here to tell you it gets better. I was raised in southern West Virginia, predominantly Southern Baptist, Free Will Baptist. So I came from a church that women had to wear dresses and, very conservative. And I was always told that being homosexual was wrong, that it was a choice, that that you're going to hell for it. And I didn't really have any role models to tell me, that it does get better, that it is better. But I'm here to tell you that it does. I understand that the government may still have laws against us in most of these states, deny our rights. But honestly, when I look back and all the problems I had that I couldn't be myself, it was worth it. Rights and stuff will come eventually. I mean, it's just going to happen. It's known in history that every type of different people that are not white males that are Christian always had to strive for their own rights. So over time we'll have ours. But at the time being, if I could look at myself back in the 7th grade when I was cutting myself, I would say, what are you thinking? Why are you doing this? My middle school and high school was hard, especially my middle school, when I realized what really gay was, because I was called gay throughout kindergarten without actually knowing what it means. I learned that, learning from where I was coming from, that it was bad. And I think from 6th to about 7th grade, all I would do was cry every night, hoping that God would wish my homosexuality away. And now it seems stupid, but honestly, back then that was the most logical reason. From then on, after it wasn't happening and I was realizing from day to day that nothing was going to change, I resorted to cutting myself. I would do it on the inner side of my leg so no one would see, because I didn't want the attention from it. I didn't want anyone to know that I was depressed. And I was putting up a mask. And it wasn't until maybe before I went to high school that I think I cut myself more than I should have. And in my head, I thought maybe I should just end it now. Maybe it's time to just end it, be done with the suffering. Well, I don't think I've actually hit anything, but it did bleed a little bit more and I started freaking out. And then I knew from then on that there was better ways of doing this. There was better ways. If I am able to be not gay anymore, there's probably other ways of doing it. I told myself plenty of times when I was in middle school that I was going to stop at this point from being gay. I don't know how, but that was my logic. I also dated lots of girls. I would date them long enough for the gay rumors to stop, and then when they start picking back up again, I would go back and date them. It wasn't until 11th grade when I told my ex-girlfriend about 2 weeks after we broke up that I was gay. And she was understanding and she was cool about it. And I was lucky for that, because I don't know what I would do if the first person I told I was gay, if I ever had someone that told me it wasn't, I think it'd be different. But over time, I told my friends eventually. And from there, I came to college, and I think I told my mom the second day I came here that I was gay, and she called me like instantly, because I messaged her on Facebook, and she goes, I knew this whole time. And it was such a relief. When my father and my dad's side found out that I was gay, they ignore it. They believe it's a phase. They believe I'll be done with it. It does hurt, but I'm going to be who I want to be. And honestly, I'm glad that I didn't commit suicide. And I just want to tell you, no matter if you're gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, even if you're fat, if you believe you're fat, you believe you're ugly, let me tell you something. When you get through high school, middle school, it gets so much better when you're able to be yourself.
Hey, my name is Tab Reed. I'm 20 years old and I'm bisexual. Unfortunately, I come from a small hick town where everybody knows everything about everyone, and that's not okay. I came out when I was 13 years old, and when I was 15, came out in my first openly gay relationship. The community didn't take that too well. I was threatened of my freedom, I was threatened of my well-being, and eventually threatened of my life. But it hit pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. School became really difficult for me. I was always watching my back. Teachers were turning on me. I lost a lot of my family and support from a lot of my friends. But one day I realized that the more you dwell on it, the worse it gets. Words are words, threats are threats, and most people just want to bring you down. But I'm here to say that it gets better when you want it to. As long as you love you and you're okay with who you are, nobody else should matter. Don't let anybody bring you down, and don't let anybody tell you what you're worth. Because you're worth what you know you're worth. And you can prove it by going out there and being the best person you can be, and just being an outstanding whatever you want to be. Just show the haters that love will triumph in the end, and that you're not going to back down. Hold your head high and never be ashamed of who you are.
My name is Tiffany Naval Gilbert, and I am currently the president of the Gay Straight Alliance here at Concord University. I myself am not gay. However, I've had several gay friends, and I know of the hardships they have gone through. I have been an ally to my friends, and I continue to be an ally to anyone who seeks help and comfort from me. I know things can get tough in life, but things do get better with the help from loved ones. Some people have to endure things that they shouldn't have to endure, and you may be one of those people. However, if you find the right person, they can help you and take your hand and guide you through this journey. You should be able to be who you want to be, and you shouldn't have to be punished for who you are. So find the right person, and with that right person, life will get better for you. It seems like life is always throwing hardballs your way, no matter who you are. So don't take that as a sign of giving up, and if you do have thoughts of such things like committing suicide, just think about who is actually going to miss you, who that person is that's going to miss you, and it may be more than just one person. But you need to think about that as well, and remember that you are important to someone, even if it is only one person, and that you have the right to live just as everyone else does. And just remember that life is going to get better for you. I mean, it's all about fighting for what you believe in and fighting for who you are. You deserve to be who you are, and you deserve to be able to be free from the guilt inside you and be able to come out to people and have people accept you. So just know that things will get better, and that people like myself would always be here to lend you a helping hand in your time of need.
Hello, my name is Joan Pendergast, and I'm a social work faculty here at Concord University. My message today is, it gets better. I grew up in a time when homosexuality was not spoken about. I knew some people who were gay, but I also heard the awful things that were said about them, and I didn't want to be made fun of. I did everything I could do to convince everyone around me that I wasn't gay. Little did I know that I was only fooling myself. I spent most of my adolescence feeling isolated and alone, but I want you to know that it gets better. I went through high school and college feeling very alone because I didn't want to risk the fear of acceptance or being found out. During times when I was at my lowest and I had thoughts of suicide, and the whole thing that kept me going was the thought that one day it would get better and I wouldn't feel so alone. At some point I realized or discovered that if I reached out to people and shared with them the darkness I felt inside, I felt less alone. One day, quite unexpectedly, someone said to me that it was okay to be gay. Coming to this acceptance of myself changed my life. I become sad and angry when I hear about someone who commits suicide. I'm sad because we will never know the giftedness of this person, and angry because I know it gets better. We live in very difficult times, and life can be a struggle. But if you're having a hard time, please reach out to someone, talk with someone, text someone, because I promise it does get better.